Hello, everyone. Today, Akshansh and we are here to talk about the Facebook outage that happened a few days back. So, before getting started, I'll briefly introduce Akshansh and myself as well. So, Akshansh, he works as a software development engineer in Amazon, and I am myself an application developer, and I work in ThoughtWorks. So, I'm really excited about today the conversation that we're going to have about the outage, and as well as we're going to look about some of the aspects from the technical side of what actually went wrong. So over to you, Akshansh.
So so the recent Facebook outage that happened, so it was like one of the biggest outage if you see in the very much history. So Facebook with Instagram with WhatsApp, everything was down for like around 6 hours completely. So yeah, that was quite a thing if you look in terms of how much live today's websites are. So yeah, and just a few fun facts about that. So uh, with this outage, actually it was not just their website outage. So technically there was a big problem in their internal networks. As a result, what happened was uh, so there the doors and all that are inside Facebook offices, those are actually IoT connected. So people were not able to access to their offices also. And on top of
Oh,
that, since complete Facebook domain was out, like people, this remote access was also blocked. So if once someone tries to debug what is happening with Facebook, how to enable that, that is also not possible. And even the internal communication that happens, Facebook uses internal I think message Facebook for business and all for communication, so that was also completely blocked. So like Facebook was quite handicapped for some point of time. Because of that, obviously they would have found ways to circumvent that. But yeah, like you are not even able to enter a bunch of your offices. That is a different level of breakage that has happened. Yeah, so
okay.
yeah, so I think I can show you quickly some few stats here. Maybe I'll quickly share my screen. uh, yeah. So yeah, this was the like tweets from official Facebook account. So yeah, I just pasted it here to give reference. Like it's in around 6 hour of difference when they said that it is down and when they said it is started to come alive. And this is also the a website called Down Detector, which actually like people report there if some domains are down, and also these are the reports that they received. And if you see from 9 p.m., this is Indian Standard Time, from 9 p.m. around things went up, then around 3 p.m. and all things started to went down and all. So yeah, quite a big outage if you see.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so now let's get down to the reasons why it happened, or do you want to ask me?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, just had a question. This 6,000 and this 7,000. These are these numbers over here in the y-axis. They represent what? Uh,
I think these are just the number of people that reported to downdetector.in that okay, we are also facing issues.
okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is that. So it is not that much relevant, this number actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
it's just
okay.
to give you some scale that okay, where things were
Yeah,
at peak when things started to get down.
622.
Yeah, yeah,
So get back to normal. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So now the interesting question: how the hell this happened? Yeah, so I just tried to list down 5 whys. This is a classic Amazon fashion, how you root cause any issue.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just follow this flow and we'll get to the thing how everything happened. So why Facebook was down? Okay, the answer was its DNS was not getting resolved. So like just to give a very plain reference of what DNS is, I think everyone would be anyway aware. So when you type www.facebook.com on your browser, this is a domain name. This need to be translated to an IP address. So DNS is a service basically which does this translation. So you can imagine it like a phone book. It will have www.amazon.com at one place and the list of IP addresses that back that website in another thing. So by this DNS resolution, you basically get the IP address, and you then that IP address is actually used to reach to that website. IP address is the unique locator which is assigned to every devices that are on the internet. So yeah, so the thing is DNS was not getting resolved. So if you yeah, you are not basically getting the IP address of facebook.com. You can't move forward. Browser can't move forward if you don't have that.
Yeah.
So why the heck DNS was not getting resolved? So it's like that the Facebook name servers were not accessible. So what is name server? So if we quickly look at the breakage of how DNS works, like what are the components in DNS resolution. So these are the pieces that we have here. So at top of it, there's something called recursive resolver. So what happens is this is your browser. This wants to resolve facebook.com. So this request is sent to actually this recursive resolver. This could be owned by, this is actually, there are multiple resolver. So Google has one, it's 8.8.8.8, it's IP for that. And generally it's your internet service provider provides that. So you use that only. So what happens is, so let's just understand how the DNS resolution works. Then we will quickly know the next step of what was happening. So for the resolution purpose, request which leads to recursive resolver then call another entity in this DNS resolution process, which is called root name resolver. Then the request transfers to TLD name resolver. We don't need to get into more details of what all these are, but it's just to say that none of these three are owned by Facebook.
Oh,
it's the last piece that is owned by Facebook. So so yeah, so these all three are owned by separate entities at the end, but the final result of that facebook.com points to your some address 268 dot something something something. This is actually part of this Facebook authoritative name resolver. So this DNS resolution happens at 4 steps, and the final step where this recursive resolver will try to reach the Facebook authoritative name resolver, that was not happening. So yeah, all the entities that were not part of Facebook were working very much fine. So till here they gave us it gave us the reference for, okay, this is the IP for Facebook authoritative name resolver. Let's say this returned TLD name resolver said that the Facebook authoritative name server IP is x.x.x. I think it's three only, not 4. Yeah, but this x.x is not accessible. So how the heck this happened? Any doubts still here? If you have?
No. All is.
Yeah. So yeah. So now if we get to a down level, like level deeper.
Yeah.
So the reason was that routes to their Facebook authoritative name servers were deleted. What does this mean?
Oh.
So what does this?
Did you actually deleted?
Yeah, it was actually removed. So what does this actually means? Let's understand what does route to some server anything means. Okay, so like there are multiple pieces here. So just to give an overview how things happens is, so like when you type any IP address, let's say if right now we are talking to each other, we are exchanging packets. So yeah, so my packets from my side should reach to your side. Let's say consider, let's say we are talking communication between me and Zoom at this point of time. So I know Zoom IP address, I know my IP address, but how does packet actually know from? So there are a bunch of hops in between, right? It's not a direct wired connection between me and Zoom servers. It's not that easy. So how is the route of that individual packets decided? So there are a bunch of protocols there which does these things. So yeah, so this is just a very like upper level overview that packets need to find some way to reach there. Now breaking down on how this thing actually happens. So the thing is, yeah, this is like very core of internet, how internet works. Nothing to do with this outage, if you see. So there is something called autonomous systems. What are autonomous systems? So like if you see, internet is actually, we say it's a network of networks. So what does this means is, there are a bunch of, like, if you consider an institute, if you consider your ISP, these are individual networks which have bunch of devices inside them, right? So autonomous system is just an like upper level entity uh, that that get registered with some registry. I don't know what's their name are actually. So how it happens is, at this point of time, there are actually 90,000, around 90,000 autonomous systems in place. What are these autonomous systems? These could be universities. These are the internet service providers. These are your big corporations like Facebook, Amazon, Google. These people have their own autonomous systems. So basically, any network that is big enough can register themselves as an autonomous system. So even in your house, there are a bunch of devices. It's a small network. There's a router. You have like 10 to 15 devices running in your house. It's a small network, but this is not a big enough network to you won't be able to go to that registry and ask, okay, assign me as a autonomous system, because this is such a small scale of network. So autonomous system is just a very big network uh, on an internet scale, basically. So you actually, when you go and register for autonomous system, you get something called autonomous system number. So in this picture, if you see, there are like bunch of autonomous system numbers displayed. These would correspond to individual entities. Facebook has their own specific number. These are unique identifiers for their autonomous system, basically. So yeah, so the gist from this is, there are, technically, if you say, there are 90,000 individual big networks in this world, and all those need to be connected, right? Because traffic goes across them, right? If you imagine internet just from a top level, we can imagine there are 90,000 small we can imagine there are 90,000 sub networks, basically. This is what is shown in this globe, and inside that sub network there is another level of routing going. That's not our concern at this point of time, that things would be happening at different level there. But just to look things from an abstracted way, just imagine there are 90,000 sub networks, and this is your whole internet, basically. So yeah, so these like, for me, I am connected to one of our so my service provider would have some autonomous system, and I am part of that, basically. Same with you. Okay. So how does this autonomous system communicates to each other, right? Because this is going to happen. I am accessing facebook.com. I need to get my packets from my autonomous system to their autonomous system. How things are happening in my autonomous system is, let's not talk about that right now. It would be too granular. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So actually every autonomous system is connected to bunch of autonomous systems. So let's say this, let's see this as an example. So this is AS1, autonomous system 1. So this is connected to AS2. Okay, when I say connected, these might actually be connected by wire, or there could be some wireless connection, but there is a direct connection between these two things. If we see these two devices, these two networks, basically. Okay. Similarly, like these arrows are just pointing that direct connections. So if you see, AS1 is connected to AS2 and AS6 directly, right? So, and AS2 is connected to AS3 directly. So if AS1 wants to send some package to AS3, right, it has two paths. It can go through AS1 to AS2, AS2 to AS3, right? Or it can go to AS6, then 5, then 4, then 3, right? So it actually has to decide also, like, which path to take. Okay. So here comes another very core protocol of internet called BGP. It's called Border Gateway Protocol. So this actually helps in communication between autonomous systems. So how it works is, first of all, AS1 need to know that this, right, that okay, I can reach to AS3 somehow. First, you should know all the possible path. Then comes the question of deciding which path is the best path to be taken, right? So how this happens is, every autonomous systems basically has two things. As part of BGP, it broadcasts some information to their neighbors. Okay, so what it broadcasts is AS1 will broadcast, okay, it will say these are the list of IPs that I control. These would be the IPs that are allocated to devices inside AS1 basically. Okay, and it will say, okay, these are my neighbor AS, I can directly connect to them. This is the information that AS1 will broadcast. So what it will broadcast technically, it will say, okay, these are the list of my IP, and I have connection to AS6 and I have connection to AS2. This information it will broadcast, right? And this information will reach to AS2 and AS6. So AS2 will get, okay, list of AS1 IP, and it will get, okay, AS6 and AS2 are its neighbors. It's not interested in AS2, it's already itself an AS2 itself. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, this information, this AS1 broadcasters this information, so it has reached to AS2 at this point of time. Okay, so this AS2 now has this information. Okay, this information saying that, okay, AS6 is accessible by AS1, something like that. So in the same way, AS2 will do the same thing, saying that, okay, I have access to AS3, and these are my set of IPs, so that will be collected by AS1. So in this way, AS1 will get to know that, okay, I know AS2, AS2 know AS3, so yeah, now I have a path to AS3. Similar way, it will get to know, okay, AS1 knows AS6, AS6 knows AS5, AS5 knows AS4, AS4 knows AS3. This is another path. So this is a like a gossiping protocol type of thing. I'm not exactly sure if this is the right terminology here, but things are something like this only, that every autonomous system is periodically, because these IPs come and go, their neighbor might also come and go. So these are periodically sending messages that, okay, these are my IPs, these are my neighbors. Whoever are interested, go on, write it down on your on your register, whatever you want to do. So in this way, BGP actually helps to establish the routes between autonomous systems, right? So all these 90,000 networks, whatever the connections topology would be there, it's not a fully connected network, but there's a path from one node to one node from any two nodes basically. It could be a longer path. So this path is actually established through this border gateway protocol. Okay. Got it.
So BGP protocol eventually broadcasts to its neighbors, and because of which each and every node, they get to know that how they're gonna interact with the respective autonomous system. Is it?
Right. Every neighbor's broadcast that, okay, this is my neighbor. So in this way, we are actually every, like, AS1 will have full info of like where, what is the end path, how things could be sent, something like that.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so actually I'm getting a bit doubt. Does AS1 know the full path, or does it I think let's not go very deep here. Even I have a little bit doubt, but the end result is that, okay, you at AS1 actually knows where it should send its packet next to AS2 or AS6, like knowing that there is a possible path at the end from AS6 and or from AS2, right? And BGP also take care of finding the best path also. Like there are multiple parameters on the basis of which it decides, but it could be like the length of these are some actually parameters on which BGP acts on, like what's the highest weight, bunch of things, what's the shortest path, and if nothing works, it's the lowest neighbor address, what's the lowest these like lowest address of the neighboring, it will just send it to it's quite a random thing, but it's a fallback mechanism actually. So yeah, this is how these routes are established. Every packet that come to AS1, this is how AS1 decides like where it need to send it next. If the destination is AS3, it should be sending to AS2 or AS6, whatever it decides through this. Okay, so this is the BGP and autonomous system thing. Now what happened was, let's say this is Facebook's AS1. So what it started to do was, it started to broadcast inside Facebook ASN. is
Mm.
Facebook DNS servers. Okay,
Yeah,
this the
sure.
name server that we talked about.
Right, definitely.
Huh.
Yeah.
So now what started to
Yeah.
happen was uh, uh, Facebook ASN started to broadcast like withdrawing all the routes. Like let's say if it is 10 IPs for DNS servers, it started to broadcast IP1 is not available, IP2 is not available, IP3 is not available, IP10 is not available. It broadcasted none of the path is available. So all this information got okay. AS6 now broadcasted ki I
Mhm.
don't take care of these IPs basically.
Mhm.
So now, okay, AS1 got this information that okay, this IP no one knows. Like at least this one doesn't know, and no one anywhere knows. So what happened
Mhm.
was now when a packet comes to AS1 saying that I want to go to this IP address, there's no route to that. No one
Mhm.
knows where this IP address even exists,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so it's not reachable. That service not it's technically as if like Facebook is off the internet. No one knows how to reach their servers. Those IP addresses are
Mm.
no longer exist technically if you see.
Mm.
So yeah,
Right.
so this was the reason why Facebook name servers were not uh, like not accessible. So basically routes for withdrawal from their DNS servers. This is in technical terms, it is called BGP withdrawal. It's a type of message in BGP protocol terminology. When you say BGP withdrawal, you say, okay, I don't uh, no longer take care of this IP address, or it is not healthy. I don't want you to send me request here, something like that. Okay,
Mm.
so this was it. Now,
Mm.
any questions still here?
Yes, some small questions that so the Facebook DNS knows, right, which eventually which IP to map to, right?
Hmm.
So, but AS1, how would AS1 know then that this is the IP that I want to interact with? Like it would just know the domain, right? Eventually, the domain is something which is
A-
being mapped to DNS of Facebook, right? If I'm not.
yeah. So this BGP is a like
Mhm.
it's a protocol that defines how your packet will move from here to there, right? These
Yeah.
packets could be moving for DNS resolution. These packets could be moving for actual. Let's say you're downloading some file. So this is a even core network layer component, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what
Mhm.
happened here is like in our previous diagram, if you see,
Mhm.
uh, this TLD name server knows that okay, facebook.com uh,
Yeah.
its resolution will be done by Facebook's name servers. Okay,
DNS, correct. Yeah.
so it when facebook.com request reach to uh, this TLD name server, it returned the IP address of Facebook authoritative name server, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So it would be,
Right.
let's say, 216.1.3,
Yeah.
any random
Yeah.
IP address. Now this information leads to recursive resolver. Recursive resolver is like everything it calls it this information reaches back to it. Calls this information reaches back to it. So now recursive resolver uh, has to uh, reach to 216.1.3, right?
Yeah.
But no one knows how to reach to 216.1.3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's the
Yeah. Yeah.
problem
Yeah.
because the
So
routes were
DNS.
withdrawn for that. We know
Okay.
the
So
IP for DNS server, but we don't know how to reach it.
yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Got it?
Yeah. 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 Right. 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 Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything more?
Yeah. So this is what you meant when you said that the IPs were removed. So DNS IP was removed. Uh, Facebook authoritative server DNS IP was removed, because of which now if we try and reach that IP through
Yeah.
recursive resolve, now we are not able to.
Right. No one on the internet knows how to reach to that IP basically. Like even if DNS servers are active, right? It doesn't matter. No one knows route to them. Why has Facebook sent these messages? Facebook actually broadcasted that I don't want to handle these IPs. This is what it said. And no one else knows how to handle that because these were Facebook IPs.
Yeah, right.
Right? So technically no
Sure.
one now knows how to reach it. So why does this happen? Okay, so this is another interesting graph. So these, like if you look at here, these blue lines actually represents the BGP withdrawal requests that were broadcasted by Facebook. So
Mm.
normally if you see, it is very much down, there's not much of activity going here, but from this 1539, I think this would be in UTC. So from this 1539, things started to move up. These were the actual BGP withdrawals that Facebook was broadcasting, and after some time none of the route was present to Facebook DNS servers.
Okay. So are you marking it over here? Okay. Did you mean pin 39? Okay. When the graph,
Yeah, this
yeah.
one actually. I think
Okay.
these are the time where this is the graph of BGP withdrawals, not the upper one. Upper
Okay.
ones were
Okay.
the announcement. We are not interested in. So
Okay.
this was posted by Cloudflare. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So why does this happen? Why
Mhm.
at a sudden Facebook started to withdrawing broadcast all the BGP withdrawals requests? So it was like there was a bad configuration change updated from Facebook. Someone in Facebook deployed a bad configuration which resulted in this thing happening. Okay. Okay, this is just old slide, but I have now more details on what happens. So recently, as I actually today itself, Facebook released a separate article mentioning all the details. So what happened was Facebook has something called a, let me draw it here. They have something called a backbone network. This is what they say in the document. This is what they say. Okay, this is a backbone network. This is actual core network that is connecting all the Facebook's data centers. So this could be data center 1, this could be data center 2, these could be lying in different continents. So this is how all the data centers are connected here. So these are the bigger data centers, and now here are some small establishments also. These are uh, these are very small data centers. They are not doing actual processing, but these are actually taking requests from the outer internet. This is Facebook ASN. This Facebook
Mhm.
AS.
Mhm.
So this is broader internet.
Okay.
So what happened was a command was issued. The intention of that command was to know the capacity of this Facebook backbone network, but somehow unintentionally what it did was it disconnected all the nodes.
Oh.
Okay, everyone
Mhm.
got disconnected. Now what happened was, let's say this was a small establishment. This is actually communicating to the outer internet, right? So this is the system actually sending this BGP messages.
Mhm.
Okay, so now what it does is this thing says that, okay, this DNS server 1 is not accessible by me. I don't want to,
Mhm.
this might be an unhealthy server, so let's not take
Mhm.
request for this. Let's remove that route itself. So it broadcasts, okay, this DNS server IP is not healthy, BGP withdrawal. It says, okay,
Oh.
another of thing is not accessible by us, BGP withdrawal. Because none of the
Mhm.
things are accessible by it. It broadcasts BGP withdrawal for all the DNS servers. As a result, this complete path is now broken. So this is
Mhm.
what happened. And interesting enough, if this is a single command could do such a thing, how didn't Facebook had any checks to avoid this thing? So actually Facebook had bunch of checks, but that tool had some bug because of which
Oh.
it didn't notify anything. So you issued the
Oh.
command and it got executed somehow, and this whole thing happened. So yeah, I
Mhm.
think this was it on completely what happened.
It was really interesting to know, Akshansh,
Yeah,
the, the DNS resolution failure part, which actually resulted in such a big havoc that happened, which
right,
lasted for long hours. Yeah.
right. And since like Facebook, as I told, right, remotely you can't fix this issue. So people actually have to travel to their offices, and there also
Mm.
they were saying that like because generally it doesn't happen that you have to go and physically do the things on Facebook infrastructure. So they have actually made it hard to do these things. So there are lots of checks which avoids physical changes that you can do from like their offices and all. So those all added to the time actually. These, by the way, these all information are from like bunch of the information that Facebook itself gave, and bunch of I think we can say reliable Facebook tweets.
And importantly, the thing is that it impacted everyone in the world. Like it wasn't on a regional basis thing, right? Every person with having the Facebook account was down with Facebook, WhatsApp, Messenger.
Right.
Right? If I'm not
I'm not 100% sure if this was a complete outage, but the scale was like very big. I'm not sure if
right.
it is like full outage or not.
Oh,
But I have never read it somewhere that it's saying that it's not a full outage. Neither I have read that it's a full outage. I don't know.
okay. No
Yeah,
comments on that.
but even the result, the impact was not till just Facebook. So if you see there,
Mhm.
the Facebook is handling a lot of traffic, right? So
Mhm.
once a request fails, what do? You retry.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you retry physically also, you kill your app, you try to reload Facebook, and
Yeah.
all the
That
you implement retries in your code also. So
mechanisms as well. Yeah.
yeah, so what happened was everyone was retrying,
Oh,
and
it was
as a
like
result the traffic to actual, so this Cloudflare actually hosts a DNS resolution, the top level DNS resolution thing. So
mhm.
I think they were getting twice to thrice of traffic overall, just because of this
Mhm.
overall retries and maybe more interesting people, I don't know. But the impact was not just that. And even like there is a login through Facebook also, right, which bunch of apps implement. So that login through Facebook was also broken. So like bunch of the game developers, I think some of the companies posted that, okay, you won't be able to log into our systems because we handle login through Facebook, and that is down. So impact was not impacted like constraint till just Facebook on services. It was even larger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we are good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thanks, Akshansh. This was really great to hear about what has actually happened from the
Yeah.
technical aspect.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Thank
It
you.
was a great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.